Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something that I think so many of us struggle with. We're going to move beyond just learning grammar rules and vocabulary lists and really get into the art of conversation. We're going to figure out how to stop sounding like a textbook and start speaking English way more naturally. So does this sound familiar? You've spent years, maybe even a decade, learning English. You know the rules, you've got a ton of words memorized, but then you get into a real, actual conversation, and it's like your mind just goes blank. It is such a common, frustrating feeling, that gap between knowing the language and actually using it. Okay, let's look at a perfect example of this. On the left, you've got that classic, perfect textbook English. Good morning, how are you doing today? It's not wrong, but it's just not how people really talk. Now look at the right. Hey, how's it going? It's way more casual, it's relaxed, and it's what you're actually going to hear every single day. This difference? This is exactly what we're tackling today. So, how do we get from the textbook to the real talk? Well, the secret isn't about learning more and more individual words. It's about a total shift in how you think. It's about learning to speak in phrases, or what some people call chunks.
So, what is a chunk? Basically, it's a small group of words that just naturally go together. See, native speakers aren't building sentences one word at a time, like they're putting together Legos. They have this huge mental library of pre-built phrases they just pull from. And when you start learning these chunks, you stop translating in your head and you start thinking in English. And trust me, that is the absolute game changer for fluency.
All right, let's get practical. Let's start building your own conversational toolkit. We've put together some of the most common, most useful chunks that you can literally start using today in all kinds of different situations. First up, greetings. So instead of that formal, how are you, try something natural like, how's it going? Or the super casual, what's up? And by the way, for these, a really short answer is totally fine. Good, you? Or not much? Works perfectly. And what about when you run into someone you haven't seen in forever? It's been a while, or long time no see, are so much warmer than just hello. They invite a real conversation. Next, let's talk about making plans. A really simple way to start is just asking, are you free on Saturday? Or maybe suggest something like, do you want to grab coffee? We use grab for informal stuff like that all the time. If the plan works for you, sounds good to me, is a great positive way to say yes. But what if you have to cancel? Something came up is the perfect polite excuse. You don't need to give a whole long story. And to show you still want to meet up, you just ask, can I take a rain check? Oh man, this phrase is so relatable. You know that feeling, right? When you're pulled in two different directions. Maybe you got invited to a party and you kind of want to go. But let's be real, you also just want to stay on the couch. That's when you say, I'm torn. It perfectly captures that feeling of being undecided. Okay, sharing what you think is a huge part of any good conversation. A great way to introduce what you really feel is to say, to be honest, or for a slightly softer opinion, you can try, I feel like. Now, if you are in 100% agreement, I couldn't agree more is so much stronger than just, I agree. If you see their point but maybe don't totally agree, fair enough is a perfect respectful response. And if you know you're just not going to see eye to eye, let's agree to disagree is the best way to politely end the debate. Now this one is so powerful for showing empathy. Let's say a friend is talking about how stressed they are at work. Instead of jumping in with solutions, just saying, I hear you, makes them feel seen and understood. It validates their feelings. It's not about fixing their problems, it's about connecting with them as a person. And that actually brings us perfectly to our next section, because, speaking is only half of any conversation. The other half, which is just as important, if not more so, is the art of listening. It is so easy to forget this, but a good conversation is a two-way street. Being an active listener shows the other person you're engaged, it makes them feel important, and honestly, it takes a ton of pressure off of you to do all the talking. So let's break this down into 4 really simple, practical steps. First, just make little sounds like or aha while they're talking. It shows you're with them. Step 2, use simple words like right or really. Step 3 is a cool one. It's called echo words. If someone says, I'm planning a trip to Greece, you just repeat the keyword back, Greece. Wow. It encourages them to tell you more. And finally, kind of a pro-level move is echo questions. If they say, I haven't tried that before, you can just turn it into a question. Haven't you? It keeps the conversation flowing so smoothly. Now for a quick, fun detour. Let's talk about how wonderfully different English can be. The phrases we use, the words we pick, they can change a lot depending on where you are in the world.
Check out a few of these classic examples. In the US, you live in an apartment and you take the elevator. Over in the UK, you live in a flat and take the lift. You put your groceries in the trunk of your car in America, but in the boot in Britain. It's not about which one is right or wrong, of course. It's just a great reminder that English is this huge, global language with lots of local flavors. You know, seeing all those different words kind of proves a really important point as we start to wrap up here. There is no single perfect way to speak English. The goal isn't to be flawless. The goal is just to communicate, to connect with another person. Everybody makes mistakes. Native speakers mess up all the time. Real progress comes from practice, not from waiting around until you feel perfect.
So to help you start practicing right away, I've got a really simple challenge for you. And all it involves is the number 3. Okay, here it is, your 3-phrase challenge. Don't try to memorize everything we talked about today. You'll just get overwhelmed. Instead, just pick 3 new chunks and make it your mission to use them. Maybe pick one greeting, like long time no see. Pick one for responding, like fair enough. And one for making plans, like let's play it by ear, which is a great one that just means you'll decide on the details later. The key is to start small.
And that pretty much brings us to the end. But I want to leave you with one final question. Don't wait until tomorrow or next week. Think about the rest of your day, right now, and decide, what's one new phrase you are going to use today?